Meet Professor Devika, a medical college lecturer who absolutely rejects favoritism among her students. She treats everyone equally, regardless of their wealthy, influential parents. During a lecture, she boldly slaps an arrogant student who tries to insult her authority. Later, in the principal's office, she slaps him a second time to teach him a lesson about respect. Devika is a true force of nature. She has raised a remarkable family of soldiers, sending her sons to defend the dangerous Kashmir borders. Her eldest son sadly passed away as a proud martyr of the land, while her younger son currently serves as a brave captain in the army. She also takes care of her martyred son's widow, her eldest daughter who is preparing for a wedding, and a young girl she adopted out of kindness. When a vulgar man attempts to insult her household and the way she raised her children, she proudly declares that she is the mother of protectors. The family fixes the daughter's wedding date, meaning Devika must contact her son guarding the remote borders. Cut to the Special Forces camp, where Major Vikram stands tall and graceful in front of the waving national flag, casually tossing his walkie-talkie from one hand to the other. Major Vikram leaves the military camp in a rugged jeep, driving down a scenic road overlooking willowy trees and flowing rivers. He has been urgently summoned to defuse a ticking bomb. However, before tackling the threat, he demands a blockbuster morning coffee. While his comrade wears a heavy, suffocating bomb suit, Vikram remains entirely unbothered. He calmly cuts the wires and deactivates the device with seconds to spare. Suddenly, the squad spots a masked terrorist fleeing the scene. They pursue him through muddy puddles and narrow alleyways. In the end, Major Vikram shoots the villain directly in the middle of his forehead. After completing the successful mission, the squad heads back to the camp for their annual celebrity interaction. This year, the famous actress Tamanna arrives. She calls the soldiers true heroes, and at their enthusiastic request, they dance and celebrate together. The next morning, while Major Vikram is playing basketball with his squad, a soldier informs him that his mother is on the phone. Vikram is confused. He is an orphan and assumes the call is meant for one of the new recruits. He walks away to contemplate the glittering lights reflecting off the river. The call is actually from Devika, who believes she is speaking to her son, Captain Vikram. She happily announces the upcoming wedding date and asks him to return home. However, an emergency strikes. A dangerous terrorist group under the cruel leadership of a warlord named Asif threatens to execute a school full of children. The army is left with two choices: bow their heads to satisfy the enemy's extreme demands, or launch a direct, high-stakes rescue operation. Major Vikram slams his fist onto the meeting table, vowing to eliminate Asif by 8 o'clock sharp. United in their bulletproof vests, the soldiers head to the destination. Major Vikram spots a guard on the balcony and signals his squad to advance. After neutralizing the perimeter, Vikram slides a high-tech microspy camera under the door to count the hostiles. On his mark, the soldiers assault the ground floor. Vikram uses a sliding skateboard to eliminate enemies on the upper level before using explosives to breach the main room. The terrorist leader dares the army to face him. Ignoring warnings, the younger Captain Vikram steps forward and a massive explosion occurs. The team carries the injured captain away while Major Vikram sprints ahead, executing dramatic leaps and flips into the enemy gathering. In a matter of seconds, the super soldier punches, kicks, and shoots every last terrorist. At exactly 8 o'clock, the children run happily to their mothers. Sadly, Captain Vikram is left battling for his life in the ICU, holding a crumpled family photograph. At military headquarters, the general updates the staff. Because the captain's family has sacrificed so much for the nation, the army decides to send Major Vikram and his senior comrade, Prasad, to the family's hometown of Kurnool. Vikram's mission is to keep the tragic news a secret so the family can enjoy the wedding celebrations before learning the truth. In Kurnool, the historic Kanda-Reddy fort stands with immense pride. Nearby, a corrupt regional minister named Narendra walks down the grand staircase of his luxurious mansion. Narendra openly scoffs at his childhood teacher's old-fashioned principles. When he learns of a protest at the fort square, Narendra drives his luxury vehicle straight to the scene. He orders his thugs to smash local buses and cars. Sitting comfortably in a simple shirt while eating bananas, Narendra terrifies the protest leader, threatening that anyone who opposes him will become a distorted corpse by nightfall. Terrified, the leader flees to protect his family. Meanwhile, aboard a train heading to Kurnool, a dramatic girl named Kavya is plotting with her mother to escape an arranged marriage with a man she dislikes. She flees onto the platform, praying to the heavens for a handsome savior. Right on cue, Major Vikram runs past to catch the train. Kavya believes her prayers have been answered instantly. Vikram pulls her aboard, and Kavya is completely mesmerized by his attractive features. Her mother speechlessly hands Vikram a traditional leaf, symbolizing her approval of him as a son-in-law. They shake hands, which the women jokingly interpret as being half-married. Although Vikram agrees to help them avoid the unwanted groom, he quickly leaves once he hears the father's side of the story. Refusing to lose her soulmate, Kavya plots a series of bizarre schemes to trap Vikram, which all end in amusing failures. Vikram cannot sleep, worried that Prasad or the eccentric women might disturb him. The next morning, he tries to change train compartments to find safety. However, Kavya is completely determined to follow him, viewing her stalking behavior as true love. During the journey, a local gangster named Ganesh teams up with Kavya to force Vikram into accepting her affection. Ganesh challenges Vikram to a fight across 5 dark train tunnels. Vikram picks up the gauntlet easily. With each passing tunnel, Ganesh grows weaker until he eventually surrenders and proclaims Vikram as his new leader. The train then stops for a vibrant song and dance routine in an enchanting forest before Vikram and Prasad take a rickshaw to the professor's house. Upon arrival, they find a chaotic situation and a heavily padlocked door. They visit the local medical college and discover that Professor Devika was suspended 4 days ago. It appears she has completely vanished. In reality, Devika is hiding in a dark warehouse, using a scarf to cover her face while feeding her daughters. When she hears Narendra's thugs approaching, she shushes her youngest child. The thugs search the area and are about to leave until they hear a slight noise behind a pile of sacks. A ruthless henchman thrusts a long, sharp iron rod into the sacks, piercing Devika's palm. Despite the intense pain, Devika stays silent. She rubs her bright red blood onto the feathers of a nearby white dove and lets it fly away. Seeing the bloody bird, the thugs assume the rod struck an animal and leave. Meanwhile, Vikram reviews a week of surveillance footage but finds no clues. The corrupt local police refuse to assist him. Devika attempts to flee the city, but Narendra's gang spots her daughters and chases them toward the historic Fort Square. The main henchman brandishes a sharp hatchet, threatening to execute Devika. Just in time, Major Vikram drops from the sky, blocking the weapon's descent. He reassures the terrified professor that he is a close friend of her son from the military camp. In a matter of seconds, Vikram dominates the brawl, breaking bones and tossing thugs over his shoulders, all while calmly discussing the upcoming wedding arrangements with Devika. When the final thug falls, the sky thunders. Vikram tells the man he deserves to be eliminated, but spares his life because a soldier lives to protect people, not destroy them. Back at the mansion, the shivering henchman informs a furious Narendra about Vikram's incredible combat skills. Devika explains the origin of the conflict to Vikram. Her nephew had reportedly committed suicide, but as a medical expert, she noticed the deep wrist cut was on the left side, even though the boy was left-handed. Realizing it was murder, she filed a complaint. Narendra threatened her to withdraw it within 24 hours. When she refused, the minister launched a wave of terror. She was suspended on fabricated charges, her home was raided under the pretext of drug possession, and her daughter's wedding was abruptly canceled. To save her family, she had knelt before the minister to apologize, but the arrogant politician ordered his men to ruin her completely. Hearing this, Vikram promises justice. He takes Devika back to the police station, gives the corrupt officers a share of physical discipline, and forces them to reopen the murder case in front of the press. He then visits a terrified lawyer and the college principal, forcing them to issue official apologies and a reinstatement letter. Finally, Vikram marches into Narendra's mansion. Finding the minister absent, Vikram plays chess and intentionally knocks the minister's piece down with a simple pawn. Narendra rushes back to his mansion with his thugs. Devika looks at him with a confident smile, noting that Vikram has already neutralized 40 of his best men. A brutal fight breaks out, and Major Vikram makes the remaining henchmen fall like scattered flies, cracking the floorboards under their weight. Vikram sits opposite the defeated minister and issues a strict ultimatum. Narendra has 48 hours to publicly confess his mistakes and apologize to the lady. Vikram then visits the home of the daughter's prospective groom. He lectures the father for abandoning the family out of fear rather than standing up against tyranny. Slowly, the professor's life begins to return to normal. One evening, Devika asks Vikram about his family, and he gently reveals that he is an orphan. The wedding preparations are soon in full swing. On the day of the ceremony, Vikram stands proudly as the male representative of the bride's household. At night, he celebrates by flying kites in open fields and dancing joyfully under the heavy rain. Meanwhile, a frustrated Narendra wonders about the source of the young soldier's immense power. The minister sets up an ominous meeting at the fort square, inviting Vikram to sit with him. Narendra challenges the soldier, arguing that the local masses are completely brainwashed puppets who will always bow to established political power. However, Vikram easily outsmarts the minister by distracting the crowd with a nearby store opening, proving the public can be guided by positive actions. Vikram argues that while the minister manipulated the people's rage, a good leader appeals to their inner decency. The next day, Prasad suggests seeking help from a high-ranking crime branch officer. Coincidentally, this officer is visiting Kavya's house to reject her, having discovered her obsession with the trained soldier. The officer takes Kavya along to Kurnool to help investigate the minister's dealings. Kavya establishes a humorous rule. Whenever Vikram impresses her, she will hug him. When Vikram and Prasad spot the dramatic girl, they try to flee, but Kavya spots Vikram and instantly hugs him out of pure joy. Later, Vikram uses his sharp intellect to easily crack a victim's iPhone password, earning another enthusiastic hug. Vikram successfully links 3 mysterious murders: a software engineer, a banker, and a government employee, who were all part of a secret messaging group. Vikram discovers that one witness is still alive and calls the minister to taunt him. The devious minister sends Vikram into the dangerous Nalamala forest, hoping he will get lost forever. Vikram successfully locates the hidden witness, Ramakrishna, but must first fight past a squad of elite martial arts guardians. The guardians throw Vikram into the air, and an older martial artist brutally kicks him down. The old man calls Narendra, boasting that the military boy will be dead in 5 minutes. However, Devika, who is listening on the line, proudly asserts that Vikram will defeat them all in 3 minutes. Cracking his knuckles, Vikram uses immense physical power, sliding across the ground and launching into the air to knock out every single guardian. Ramakrishna reveals the massive truth. He and his colleagues discovered that Narendra's company had created thousands of fake bank accounts to launder 5,000 crore Indian rupees of public funds. The minister had ordered the executions to protect his massive fraud. Ramakrishna hands over a hard drive containing the definitive evidence. Major Vikram boldly enters a high-level political meeting where all the corrupt decision-makers are gathered. He places the evidence file on the table and locks the heavy double doors from the inside. The politicians shout at him, claiming a soldier's only duty is to guard the borders while they control the system. Vikram ignores their insults and tells a metaphorical story about an old man and a rat. He then reveals a custom-built bomb, setting a tense 5-minute timer that sends a wave of absolute panic through the room. For 4 minutes, Vikram delivers an emotional speech about rampant corruption, telling them they should focus on developing the nation's infrastructure instead of robbing the poor. At the final second, the bomb detonates safely, exploding into a massive wave of colored paint that forms the national flag on the wall. Vikram retrieves the file and leaves the astonished politicians behind that on the joyous day of the wedding, Captain Vikram tragically passes away in the hospital. Only Major Vikram and Prasad know the sad truth. They wait until the bride waves a happy goodbye to her mother before gently breaking the news to Devika at the Northern Command headquarters. A grand military funeral is conducted to salute the departing soul. The coffin, wrapped beautifully in the Indian flag, is returned to the resilient family, who salutes the martyr with immense dignity. Major Vikram ensures that Narendra faces full justice. Instead of standard imprisonment, The court sentences the disgraced politician to serve as a patriotic soldier at the freezing Kashmir borders. Vikram believes that defending the common people firsthand will teach the corrupt man true responsibility. In the final scene, Major Vikram happily agrees to marry Kavya, the girl who is madly in love with him. This blockbuster movie beautifully showcases the ultimate war between patriotism and betrayal, revealing the true motives behind closed doors. Directed and written by Anil Ravipudi, it stars Mahesh Babu as Major Vikram.